dreams are made to be achieved.
Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, shall I say. It's Milwaukee Buck here, coming to you all from Coachella, California. Today's date is May 22nd, 2023. The current time now is 11:36 a.m. and the temperature here in Coachella is 89 degrees. So I'm on my way back to Phoenix. I had 8 stops on this tour. This is tour number 1 for the week. It covered 780 miles round trip. I'm kind of curious as to what I'm gonna get for tomorrow's tour, but I'd have to wait until later on today. I'm on my second to last stop, so once I drop this off at GYR3, I'll be finished for today. I should arrive around, what did it say? Around 3:30 p.m. Give or take. There's still a lot of heavy construction going on in the Phoenix area, Avondale, Goodyear area. So if you guys don't know, GYR would be the code name for Goodyear, and 3 would be the number of Amazons in Goodyear. So GYR2, GYR1, AUNT1, AUNT5, KSBD, for instance, is like the San Bernardino Airport. Just so you all know. So the reason why I did get loaded this morning at my live load was because it was past my departure time. But that's not the only reason. The other reason is because if I were to dock my trailer, open up my doors and do all that, and put the landing gear down, of course, and all that jazz, and then the shipper puts one pallet in the trailer, I'd be stuck there. Some shippers do that. They know that they're late at loading you, and or they know your departure times as it pertains to Amazon. So they'll tell you to dock your trailer. You dock your trailer, you know, and you're sitting there, and then they'll put one pallet in your trailer because they know that you can't move once any piece of their product that they're shipping is in your trailer, regardless of time. So I called dispatch, and yeah, I was able to get out of there. It's a nice sunny day here, and I don't know if this is still Coachella. It says Blythe, but we're a ways away from the border, from the Arizona-California border. It was actually quite peaceful earlier today. I did start my footage. I had a few other stops before my live load. I ended up just deleting it and starting from scratch. I wonder if there's a lot of construction. It's hit or miss in Phoenix. So far it's been clear near Avondale. The live load, by the way, was in Rancho, Cucamonga, California. I'm not sure what the product was that was gonna go into this trailer, but there was a number of trucks that showed up. There was one truck in front of me. The problem is you never know how long it takes for them to load trailers. Some of the third parties, even with Amazon, are pretty quick, and some of them take forever, so it's kind of a luck of the draw. And then you learn over time which ones are gonna take forever and which ones aren't. This particular third party, it's my first time being at that one, so the guys that were sitting there waiting for them to arrive to start loading trucks, those guys were talking about the Tesla semi-truck. Not the Cybertruck, but the semi-truck. And the infrastructure and all that stuff as it pertains to how is it gonna work when it comes to truck drivers, and you know, just how is it gonna work. Nobody knows. I'm curious as to how it's gonna be pulled off. I told those guys back when flip phones, when you could take the battery out of your phone and then you had a secondary battery and you just pop that in. A lot of guys would buy third-party batteries, such as myself. I would buy a third-party battery that's supposed to go with my phone, but the battery wasn't the same as the OEM battery. Now obviously with an OEM battery you get better quality. Well, that's the same thing with these electric cars, is that like the Teslas, and even now with the Priuses, there's a Prius right there, but with the Priuses you have to get, you can, I can't say you have to get, but you can get a reconditioned battery, but it's not the same as an OEM battery. So let me go back to the thing with the flip phones. Well, when I had a battery that worked for my phone, but it wasn't an OEM battery, let's say I had a Nokia phone, I'd pop that battery in, but it wouldn't last as long as the OEM battery. So, you know, that's really what you're dealing with, except electric car batteries are expensive. I mean, they said that, I think, to replace a Tesla battery, car battery that is, not the 12 volt, I'm talking about the actual battery that's in the floorboard, It's like in upwards of $20,000. So it's just, I've seen some of these electric vehicles like the Mach-E. Some say they're around $1,200–1,300 a month. That's not including the charging network membership. The membership fee you have to pay just for being on the charging network. So, who's got, how many people, shall I say, how many people have $20,000 laying around to where they can afford? And then that's not including labor, from what I was told. So just imagine the Tesla truck, not the Cyber truck, but just imagine how much a semi-truck electric battery would cost. I mean, they already have them in those yard goats at the Amazons, and I'm sure not just Amazons, but at other facilities around the country. But just imagine with semi-trucks and these huge batteries who are not light by any stretch of the imagination. Those batteries are heavy. So those charging stations, they're like $60,000 for just one charging station. Another thing that comes into mind when we think of electric semi-trucks is pulling into a pilot and you got all these trucks trying to recharge their batteries. And then I'm sure hours of service is not gonna change because of this new electric kind of cascade of automobiles and or automakers wanting to go electric by, I believe it's 2035. Some of them are pushing it up to 2026, 27. It all depends on the automaker. But a lot of drivers are talking about the evolution of the electric semi-truck and how is that gonna work. It's fascinating to think about how technology has gotten so far. So I wasn't able to get my interior trim pieces installed because the guy that was supposed to install them canceled on me. Apparently he had a number of vehicles in his shop he needed to finish, even though I had a reservation as well. It's all good because I went to this other establishment. The name of the business is Tent World, and I scheduled a time slot for them to do my interior pieces on Saturday. By the way, if you guys want to see what it looks like, look at this video. I tried to install a few of those trim pieces, and I only managed to install one, and that was on my push button start. It like goes around the ring, what you're supposed to do. I shouldn't say ring, it goes around the rim of the, not the actual button, just the trim piece that's around the rim of the button. So what you do though is it comes with four primer pieces, four primer pins, shall I say. It also, you have to also get some iso alcohol and apply that to the surface first. Then once you apply the iso alcohol, because that decontaminates the surface, you apply the primer to that same surface, and then that's when you apply the necessary trim piece that goes to that particular area of the dash, or you know, any piece in the interior of your truck. Then you gotta allow it 48 to 72 hours to cure. So the guy at Tint World said that it's gonna take no more than an hour. I'm interested in seeing what it's gonna look like, and of course I'll be doing some type of video on it just to give y'all a before and after. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. That's why I'm gonna do a video. It won't be too long. Here we are crossing into Arizona. Crossing the Colorado River.
Welcome to Arizona.
So now we crossed into Arizona. We have 2 hours exactly till we get to GYR3. According to the GPS, there's some most likely DOT officers up here. They're always right above this ridge because the weight scale is a few feet away. I shouldn't say feet, a few yards away. Maybe a quarter mile, shall I say? Oh, we had to pull into the weight scale. We're empty, so no bother. But if no one's in the attendant office, then we can just pull right on through. Usually that's what happens. One time a guy was just sitting there. Like that window was open, this window right here, and he was just sitting there. And usually there's a sign that says, if there's no attendant, just pull right on through. But if there is an attendant, of course you have to stop. And as you guys saw, there's no attendant. So we can get back on I-10. Alright everybody, so we're now arriving at GYR3. The current time now is 3:15 p.m. Surprisingly, there's no trucks filling up this whole space right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check in here, and then once I drop this trailer, I'll check in with you guys. Oh. You know, it's hilarious to me how much effort you have to put in to drop off a trailer. I say that because you get to one of these Amazons and they either got the camera system where it looks at your front license plate, the trailer number, and the rear license plate, and you know, the folks over the little camera system, they can't hear you even when everything's dead silent. You got the folks at certain Amazons with the little laptops checking you in, and you got to tell them your last four of your load ID 4-5 times before they hear you in dead silence, you know. And then you pull up to one Amazon, and as soon as you pull up to the gate, right when you pop your brakes, it's already telling you without any hesitation where they want the trailer at and where they want your pickup at, or you bobtail out. You get many different things when you go to certain Amazons. You never know what you're gonna get. It's just two different worlds depending on the Amazon. Two different worlds. While on the same note, I must say, up to my knowledge, the Amazon warehouses are owned by Amazon. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a guy out there with quite a bit of money. He goes and buys a warehouse, paints it blue, just like any other Amazon warehouse, and you know, he's like a franchisee where he pays Jeff Bezos royalties for the Amazon logo and all that stuff, but all the employees, he can make up his own pay for the employees that are inside the warehouse. But I think that's why you get 2 or 3 different worlds depending on which Amazon you go to, because it almost feels like some of them are franchised. And I'm not talking about the third parties, I'm talking about specifically Amazon warehouses.